It's Paul Marsh, and I am delighted to say that I have been joined by the Reverend Michael Alabama Jackson. Rev, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Paul. Thank you for having me on. Brother Paul, wonderful to be on the radio with you, my friend.
So you're coming down to Portsmouth. You're coming down to Portsmouth very soon. You're just about
That's
to
right.
go on a UK tour, aren't you? And Portsmouth is the last show that you're doing. It's at the Wedgwood Rooms on Thursday, the 20th of February. You must be really, really looking forward to this one.
You know what? I can't wait. I cannot wait. And what better place to finish off than in the sinful South? You know what I'm saying? So by then the show will be tight. It'll be tight. It'll be a great moment. And we've only ever been to Portsmouth once before. We played at Victorious Festival a couple of years ago. That was a great day, and so many people came up to us afterwards and said, "You got to come and bring your tour down here." So where we're needed, we shall go. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can't wait to bring our tour to an end in the beautiful city of Portsmouth.
If the people need it, the Lord delivers.
Exactly right, my friend. Hell, I'll get you on our marketing team.
So you were at Victorious, and obviously it was so good that you wanted to come back.
That's right. Yeah, we had loads of fun. It was interesting because we were playing on a stage that had it was like drum and bass music before we went on, and I think drum and bass music after we went on, and so it was an interesting dynamic shift when for the audience and for us when the kind of big heavy tunes finished, and then we came on glitz and glam, a little American razzle dazzle, and started singing funk, soul, and gospel music. But once they got over their shock, the crowd seemed to really love it.
Well, we are going to play one of your tunes very, very shortly. But if somebody
Ooh.
is listening right now and they've
Mhm.
never heard or seen or know anything of, oh my God, it's the church, what
Right.
should they expect when they see you live?
Well, my friend, it's going to be like a brand new kind of church. So it's going to have the energy that you might not expect from a British church. It's going to have the American razzle dazzle. It's going to have costumes. It's going to have singing. It's going to have dancing. You need to bring an extra shoe for one of the songs because everyone takes a shoe off and throws it in the air. It's lots of surprises. It's a little bit like a hallucinogenic sister act, is how I describe it. If that encourages anybody to come, I've done my job well.
I think it's fair to say that this is a show like you've never seen before.
I'd say so. Well, I've seen it a few times, but that's what other people tell me when they come. Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of unique, and we have a whole thing where our audience we call our audience the congregation, and they've taken on their own being really. So I think the people who have been a few times, they take just as much pleasure in like inviting their friends or their family or their work colleagues along for the first time. And we ran a whole thing like, how are you guys explaining to people what you're bringing them to? And it turned out that they people just weren't saying anything for the shock factor. So they were just like, yeah, I've got us tickets to this thing. Come along. And then they'd come and just their jaw would be on the floor for the first 15 minutes, and then after that you kind of get it, and by the end you're jumping around and getting on your knees and stuff. So yeah, it's the tagline that people seem to say is, I can't explain it, you just gotta come.
I 100% agree. What I would love to know is how you arrived at this point, what it was like from the conception and where you are now, that journey. I'd love to know how that went.
Well, it was, you know what, I grew up in church, and church is probably very different in America than it is in the unified kingdom. But
Yes.
I had we were playing around in bands and in Vegas and LA and stuff. And I don't know, we had this idea for this new church because the world is very different now. And what church is effectively is just a nice space for people to come and celebrate and dance and sing good tunes and stuff like that. And if you take the sort of religion element out of it a little bit, it's just a great time for people to come together. And I felt with the world the way it was that maybe we needed a new kind of thing like that for people, no matter who you are, where you come from, no one's excluded. Everyone can come in. So we kind of had this idea, but you'll be surprised, my friend, to hear that a group of scantily clad girls and myself in leopard print pants dancing around on stage and singing about sex of Jesus in a tongue-in-cheek way. Didn't go down too well in the Deep South, but
Shocked. Shocked.
I know you can't believe it, can you? But then I've got a friend, a British friend, and he was telling me he saw what we were doing, and he was like, "Oh, they love this back in the Unified Kingdom because church is a little bit dull as dishwater over there." And it was like a light bulb moment for me. It was like, "Hey, I can go over there," and I thought that Unified Kingdom was kind of similar to America. Turns out it's not. But I thought, hell, I can save some souls and make some dough. You know what I'm saying? The American
Well,
dream in action. And
you are 100% doing that.
so we came over and yeah, you guys took to us so nicely. We've been coming back ever since. I've got a place here now, and yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. Basically it turned out that the shows ended up being us teaching the people about of the Unified Kingdom about America and us learning stuff about UK. So things like how to pronounce Leicester and all the different words for bread you guys have, stuff like that. So that a lot of the shows is just that, just like, hey, what's the deal with this? Which is kind of fun. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. We get this, my I'm probably going off on a tangent here, but the craziness of putting an 11-piece band on the road, people living all over the country and all over the world, trying to get it together for rehearsals is an absolute nightmare. But it's pretty chaotic when we're on tour. We had our tour manager who's like the kind of the mama of the tour, kind of gets us all up, gets us together. He used to work for FEMA in the United States. That's who we got given. Who, if you don't know, that's the like Federal Disaster Management Agency, and he was a doctor of disaster management, and that's who we got given as a tour manager. And he quit after 2 years. We were too much. So it's it's chaotic on the stage and off the stage, but it's been a wonderful journey, and we can't wait to come back and tour the Unified Kingdom again and bring our new show to our fans. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and we're excited to see where it goes next.
Well, like you have mentioned, it's not just your good self, the Reverend, up on stage. You have got a very, very big band. Tell us about some of the other members of the band.
Oh, gladly. So we've got behind me, we've got the choir, which is consists of they're called the Hail Marys. There's three of them, and there's Sister Mary Joy, who's kind of cute but not very bright, and there's Sister Mary Jane, she won't mind me saying she's a bit of a diva. She likes, you know, diamonds and champagne, but I've only got the budget for like Diamantes and like Listerine. And and there's Sister Mary Lou, uh, who is well, she's like a cross between Dolly Parton and Hulk Hogan. She's like a trailer trash girl. You'll know what I mean if you come to the show, brother. So they're kind of weird, and they're the choir behind us. And then we got Morgan the organ, who's this kind of little feral dog, who we're not sure if he's an idiot or an evil genius, but he's on the organ. The people of the UK seem to fall in love with him. I don't know what that says about you guys. And then we've got a full gospel band behind. So we got guitar, drums, we got bass guitar, we got a whole brass section called Brass in My Ass. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the air, but I just did. And yeah, so we got a great band, amazing players from all over the world, and yeah, we kind of it's the music's kind of a mixture of rock and roll, soul, funk, disco, all kind of uplifting songs. So we take our audience on a journey through the live show as well.
Absolutely amazing. Now, before we finish off and we talk about your new single,
Mm,
I'm not sure if this is a well-known fact or not, but you were the Alabama State Preaching Champion in
that's right.
2005 and 2010. I think we can all agree and we understand why you won in those years. But my question to you is, what was happening from 2006 to 2009?
Well, I had my own problems. I was in rehabilitation for a little while, and I was trying to, I was trying to take this nugget of this idea that now is, oh my God, it's a church out there, And listen, it was it was I call them the doldrum years, like Jesus in the desert. I went out there, had to have a little bit of a think about my life, and I came back and won again. But here's the thing about the Alabama State Preaching Championships: you have to be it's a little bit. You guys have got Eurovision, so you can't be like a professional. It's like the Olympics. You can't be a professional preacher. You've got to kind of be like on your way up, an amateur, as it was. So once I won it the second time, my career was only going one way, brother, and that was
Oh,
kind of straight
yeah.
along, like
Yep.
straight, not up, not down, but straight. But yeah, I can't enter again. But it's a bit like X Factor for preachers. It's cool. It's cool.
Well,
I got my
it sounds absolutely amazing. The two wins, I know that you absolutely nailed it, and I think everything that's come since then has paled in comparison. To be completely honest with you,
That's right.
I would love to talk to you all day long. Unfortunately, we don't have the time. So let's finish off by talking about the new single, "The Shuffle."
Okay, yeah. This is we've got a few new singles out that's going to end up being on a new album. But yeah, the shuffle is I think it's my favorite song we've ever done for me personally because it's got all of the elements that I love that we've kind of been honing. So it's got a lot of Prince in there, like kind of the epic level 80s Prince, you know. It's got that in there. It's got a little bit of like Parliament Funkadelic in there. It's got this the most beautiful, catchy synth hook that Morgan plays, and yeah, it's just about getting up, dancing, having a good time, and it's got its own dance routine. Which, if your listeners come and see us at the Wedgwood Rooms, they'll see it and be able to learn it. It's not too hard because I can do it, so you can. And yeah, it's just feel good funk, soul, and yeah, my producer James Bragg, shout out to him because he did a great job making it so shiny and glorious. So yeah, if you're gonna play that, that's wonderful. I hope your listeners enjoy it as much as we do.
Well, I can't believe there's a single person that's going to have heard this interview that won't want to come. So let's just repeat it for one last time. Oh my God, it's the church are going to be playing at the Wedgwood Rooms in Portsmouth on Thursday, the 20th of February, to end the UK tour.
And
Reverend
and
Michael Alabama Jackson, thank you so much for joining me, sir.
oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother. Are we gonna see you there at the show?
Of course, of course.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord. I will just say at the end, actually, I just got the ticket counts through. I think there's only like 30, 40 tickets left
Oh,
on the gig. So it's going to sell out fast. So if you hear this, get yourself a ticket while you can, because that thing's going to sell out, I'm sure. So it'll be a great way to end the tour.
Reverend, thank you very much for talking to me. Enjoy the tour and enjoy Portsmouth.
Thank you very much. I will. I'll see you soon.